I'm from Melbourne. I'm visiting Darwin. I went into the pharmacy on my morning walk. I had headphones on, chatting on the phone. When I approached the pharmacy desk, I ceased my conversation and asked the pharmacist very nicely, with a smile on my face, if she would kindly fill my prescription. She turned her back on me and went to the back of the pharmacy, where she proceeded to do so, or I thought she proceeded to do so. I stood in place at the counter and continued chatting to my friend. There wasn't anybody else in the store. She was way away from me doing what she was doing, and I was having a conversation, just waiting. 10 minutes goes by, 15 minutes goes by, 20 minutes goes by, and I thought, what's this woman doing with my antibiotics? It's not such a difficult thing to fill, and there's nobody else in store. So then I noticed her back there and said, oh, look, perhaps I could pay for it ahead of collecting it. And she glared at me and said, I'm not serving you, you're on your phone. I said, but I've just been waiting here on my phone, chatting, waiting for you. That was it. She didn't say another word to me. And threw the antibiotics at me through another assistant that was working with her, and off I went. And I thought, that's amazingly ludicrous. If I'd been standing with another person chatting, would that have been rude?
Her version of events, as quoted in the NT News, is that like any chemist, and we've all been in this situation, she has to explain to you the pros and cons, you know, whether you've used these antibiotics, you're aware of the side effects, and that required your full attention.
I understand, but not at one time did she actually approach me in order to do so.
Because you're on the phone.
She turned her back on me and never came back.
But that's
well,
the
I
point.
was standing waiting on the phone.
Yeah, but
I was on the phone.
The question is, should you have got off the phone?
She didn't approach me.
No,
If she
but
had
I'm asking
come
you,
towards me to talk to me.
To be courteous, should you have just got off the phone to engage in conversation, to engage in that very important medical transaction? But you said she was with the antibiotic box, which you said she gave to her colleague.
She was behind the pharmacy counter, not facing me, and when I said to her, could I pay for them, I wasn't actually no longer on the phone at that point anyway. I still had my headphones on. She gave them to her assistant, who passed me the antibiotics. Not at one point in time did she say, I'd like to have a word to you about these. There was no indication that she wanted to engage in any conversation with me. Michael, I'm not a rude person. I do use my phone an awful lot. I do not condone rudeness of any sort. I understand it's extremely rude to use phones in movie theatres, in places where it disrupts public. I was not disrupting anybody.
Did you think of maybe just hanging up, stopping the conversation with your friend and asking this woman directly without the headphones being on, as you say?
Well, in fact, what happened was, when she said to me, I don't serve anybody on the phone, I said to my friend, I've got to hang up now. And I, in fact, did hang up from him. I still had headphones on, but one headphone was pulled back, and I was then off the phone. So was it the indication that I still had a pair of headphones around my head that got her so upset? Yeah,
but you can understand, can you understand how somebody like that pharmacy assistant would have got upset or a bit miffed by you continuing your conversation while she was in the process of conducting this transaction with you?
She didn't conduct any transaction with me. She turned her back on me to fill the prescription, and when I inquired as to if I could pay for it, she turned on her heel, glared at me and said, I'm not serving you, you're on your phone. And I hung up my phone. I said to my friend, I've got to go. And at that stage, she actually did not engage further in conversation with me. She gave the box of antibiotics. She allowed the transaction to continue so that I could pay for them. There was really nothing she had to tell me about antibiotics, Michael. The script comes from a doctor. The doctor tells you about it all. The doctor's instructions are written on the box of antibiotics as to what you have to do. I'm sorry, but that was not the case. She had started off...
Finally, Sandy Kaye, our time is just about out. What do you think about becoming the poster child for bad mobile phone behaviour across Australia today?
You know what? I love mobile phones. I think that they're the most brilliant technological advance ever. I'm inseparable from my mobile phone. I have switched my mobile phone onto silent for you now, and there's only a couple of people in the world that I would do that for. I do not condone bad mobile phone behaviour or rudeness. I never will. That was not what happened here yesterday.